Is this an exhibition? Wow, dude, there's so much on the line, man.
Crikey. They're playing for pride in a game that's not out, and they want to ban stages. I'm about to get angry.
Dude, dude, that's Smashers, man. We're all about banning.
Yeah. So in Rivals of Aether, or Ether, whatever you want to call it, all the characters have kind of like a gameplay wrinkle or a gimmick.
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it. They're not gimmicky,
right?
But I will call them a gimmick.
And they all involve some sort of direct stage control.
Usually, yes.
Something on the stage.
Right. So Zetterburn is a fiery, lion-y man, and he puts fire puddles out on the stage, and he can also light you on fire. When you're lit on fire, you obviously take damage over time. That's a given, right? But the other thing that happens is his strong attacks and some of his specials can actually consume the flame if you're on fire and deal a much, much larger amount of knockback and damage.
He goes from having some of the worst killing moves to killing at 60.
Yeah, at ridiculously low percentages, right? So if you do get set on fire, a lot of times you just want to avoid confrontation until it's over and try not to let him set you on fire. Now, Orcane...
and sometimes if you're playing against the Zetterburn, when they get you on fire, you can bait a parry.
Yes.
Because they're going to be very aggressive.
They're going to be very aggressive,
trying to push their advantage really hard.
Right.
And you can take advantage of that.
Absolutely, yeah. Orcane now has to put these puddles on the ground, and he can consume the puddles to do extended range, extended damage, smash attacks with the strong attack button, but can also teleport to the puddles as a recovery. His recovery is very poor without the puddle.
Right.
And then he can also turn them into bubbles, which is a cool trap, and they set up really nice juggles. She has really nice like 0 to 60 combos.
Oh yeah, dash attack, down tilt,
yeah, beautiful stuff. Yeah. And if you're the type of player who really likes to improvise, Orcane is for you, because I've done some things that like wowed myself. Just short juggles. I put the puddle down right under them as they recovered, and then took them out. Really, really, really fun character.
Yeah, and Orcane, a lot of people are like, oh wow, that recovery seems way too good, but that puddle is Orcane's only option.
Right, you know where she's going.
Yeah, you know exactly where Orcane is.
Her recovery is actually not very good.
She does have the teleport in the air, but that's purely horizontal.
Right.
So you can just get a read on that and punish.
If the puddle's far away from the edge you're recovering on, and you can actually make it back without the puddle, the opponent will have to guess whether you're going to teleport or not. But once you're too far away to make it back without the puddle, it's extremely obvious. You're going to have to puddle. The opponent will go stand near it, not on it, because you'll get killed. And then they'll make a nice punish. Shield. So if you're unfamiliar with this game, it's very different.
Yes.
You don't block.
No, Vince, let's go.
You don't grab people.
Loser picks.
You actually can only dodge and parry.
Yes.
And I actually feel like as
Keats,
you know, yeah.
Keats, Smash is the only game I've ever played. What's a parry?
A parry lets you deflect an incoming attack. And in this particular game, a successful parry actually will freeze the opponent out of further attacks and actions for a brief period, letting you set up a nice, juicy, strong attack punish or a combo starter, depending on what percentage you've built up at that time. But a parry, unlike in Third Strike or whatever, if you're familiar, is not a free action.
Right.
If your parry is unsuccessful, you will suffer a good quarter second of recovery, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it'll get you messed up.
It's very related to spot dodge.
Yes.
If you imagine the first frame of your spot dodge, put the opponent in a crumple state.
Yeah. So there's actually 8 frames that will absorb, and then 16 frames of recovery thereafter.
Comes out on frame 2.
Frame data, baby. I make games.
Used to came out on frame 1, now comes out on frame 2.
Nice.
Which surprises me. I could have sworn it always did.
I don't know that I don't know if I agree with that, but it's not. I don't know. I don't care really. It's all good.
It's fine.
I can see why he would do it.
And baiting parries is definitely very effective. Similar to in Smash and other fighting games where you do like empty jump into a grab. In this you kind of do empty jump and they parry and you punish.
Right. There's a lot of things you can do to actually bait them out. You can play predictably on purpose for just a moment, long enough to lull them into a false sense of security, etc., fighting game stuff.
Right.
Ultimately, just like every other fighting game, this game is not about controlling yourself. It's about controlling your opponent. And because there's no guard, I actually feel
no block.
Right. I actually feel like I feel like it's a lot. It makes a lot more sense than in Smash to me to have a game with this kind of movement where you can't block, because in Smash I feel like I have too much defense. I can dodge or I can just hunker down and block for quite a while. And I don't know, the pace is so much nicer in this.
Melee is saved by having ridiculously aggressive top tier, so game's engine is definitely...
Right. Yeah. And it's tough playing Smash 4 for me because a lot of the moves have like severe landing recovery, so I also feel like my mobility is very hampered.
Yeah, Smash 4, your shield can drop instantly.
Yeah, Rivals is just like it's a flowy game. You do what you want to do, your character does what you expect them to do. It feels great, you're not punished for attacking. It's fun, man. If you haven't played this game yet, you guys got to look forward to it. I am addicted to this.
Coming out in, I believe, late August on Steam and past the early green light because it's amazing. Yeah.
I've been playing an hour a day for the last 3 weeks with, Get Dizzy. He did Barabari Ball.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He works with me on Killer Instinct as well, and we, at the end of the day when we're done, we'll play an hour of this together. Really, really fun. Just can't put it down, man. This is one of those, I got to go one more time type of games.
One of the best parts about this game is that there's only 6 characters. Each character is being developed individually.
Yep.
Every character has options and responses to every other character's dumb stuff.
So far, it seems that way. You'll have to see how things develop, right? But, I know Dan, the guy who makes this game, and not only is he brilliant, but there's a new trend in game development lately where there are people developing competitive games that actually know their own games. You don't want to play Dan in this game. He will mess you up, right? Just like I will mess up most people in Killer Instinct, right? You want to know your own game, and he does, and he's a lot of insight from being a Smasher for so long. And I know this game is just going to be incredible for a very long time. I can't wait to see it grow into a nice fleshed out 16 character game.
Dude, isn't that the dream? 16? That's
something like that would be nice. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think you need much more with the amount of variety that's in here already.
And one thing about Dan.
Oh man!
Wow. Not only was he a melee player, he was a Falco player, which really explains the aggression in this game.
Yeah.
Because Falco.
But it's fun.
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
so fun. No, aggressing is fun because you have options.
So, something I've learned in game design in general is that powerful movement is just simply fun. I'm going to throw back to the N64.
Yeah.
Mario 64 is almost certainly worse in every way, feature-wise, than Banjo-Kazooie.
I thought you were going to say BK. Yeah.
However, Mario 64 is a vastly better game. And that's because it feels great just to run around and jump around. Like, there could be no goal in Mario 64. And you can just have fun bouncing off of things. It's great. It's fantastic. And Banjo, it's not fun to even walk in that game. It feels tedious and horrible. But there's tons to do. It's like all the objectives are cool.
You could replace those 2 games with Smash games.
You could,
Be pretty much word for word.
But the point is, movement is fun. Movement is fun. A lot of our characters in Killer Instinct have a lot of really cool movement.
Oh, yeah.
All of the characters, even the brutes in this game, like Crag, they move in really interesting ways and control the screen in interesting ways. I love Crag.
The coolest heavy I've ever seen.
Absolutely, yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him.
Because he has so much mobility just within the engine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this game is so great. So let's try and commentate the match now that we've explained it a little bit. The score is 1-1, Hylian and Randall.
Yeah, the Zetterburn won last game, right?
I guess. I'm just trusting your scoreboarding.
I don't know. I believe so.
Yeah.
Hope for new. This is Keats.
Yes.
Of Iron Galaxy.
Yes,
Iron
that's
Galaxy.
correct. That's correct.
You guys got some figures.
Yeah, we announced some figures today. They're really, really awesome.
They look pretty nice.
Yeah, the price points are really nice too. They were saying those are only between, depending on the models, like 20 and 50 bucks or something.
Which characters? Is it all of them? Or
they're doing all of them. Maybe not all in the first batch, but they're doing all of them. It's really cool.
Dude, Aghanos stuff.
I want to get some plushies of these characters myself.
Yeah, no,
I would not mind having.
Hey, I get statues. This gets plushies.
Yeah.
This is a plushie game.
Yeah, it's totally a plushie game. Yeah. I would not mind an Orcane plushie.
Dude,
not at all. She's like I keep calling her a she. I'm sorry if that offends you. I just think of her as a she. She's like a whale dog.
Yeah.
And I like both those things.
That new up smash
animation. Oh, man.
It's so good. Orcane's actually, there's art by Dan from like his college days.
Yeah.
Of Orcane. It's like half whale, half I think like leopard.
No, he draws really good stuff. I've seen him just draw stuff on a whiteboard in front of me. He's a good artist. Much better than myself.
Oh, are you guys in the same area?
We worked on Killer Instinct a little together, so we spent a little bit of time in the same office here and there.
Because Dan, a lot of people don't know this, Dan was lead designer on Season 1?
He was a designer on Season 1.
Yeah, designer, okay.
Yeah, on the Microsoft side.
Right.
And he was there at the beginning of Season 2 for a little bit, and then he broke off to work on this, but we brought him back on contract with Iron Galaxy to help with a few other things, a few other mode designs and things like that. But it's very clear that You know, he and I both really like characters that bring something new to the table, and there's a ton of that in both games.
I feel like
a lot of parallels.
Season 2 is like, how much anime can we put into our game?
Anime!
It's great.
It's not necessarily what you think of as an anime fighter. It's just the experimental half of it. Like, the game is still a rooted, grounded, Street Fighter-y game, but how experimental can we go with the characters? And like Smash has a lot of interesting experimental characters as well. I'm not having the greatest time playing them.
You should try PM. You should try PM.
Oh, I play PM a little bit. I like PM. It's got some good stuff in it as well.
Yeah.
I like Squirtle a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Squirtle's cool. I have an issue in Smash. You guys can make fun of me if you want, but keep in mind I probably placed higher than you in Smash tournaments back when I was playing. I got 13th at EVO when we had Brawl with items.
Oh, wow.
Get wrecked. Yeah, items, I know.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I like items.
No, I saw like an old EVO trailer. It was like a hype trailer, and they had like Rob getting the Smash Bros.
Yeah, that was so sick.
That was so sick.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
yeah.
I've always struggled in Smash with a few things. The first one is just the sensitivity of the stick.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to walk, sometimes I want to run, and I don't always get the one I want.
Right.
And that's very frustrating. And on top of that, sometimes I want to smash, sometimes I want to tilt, and I can't always get the one I want.
Yeah.
And those are my two main complaints. And in Rivals of Aether, like the dashing and walking feels better. And he separated tilts and smashes essentially into two buttons, which is all I've ever asked for.
Yeah,
and it makes the game infinitely more playable.
You can turn it on or off.
Yes, you can play it the Smash way if you want, but I don't want.
Right.
Not at all. Ooh, that was nice.
Ooh, that was really pretty. Double up air.
See, now, he was trying to get a puddle where Zetterburn was going to recover, but he tossed it off the edge instead. If he had done a down puddle, Zetterburn would have landed right on top of it. No choice, because he has to go a set distance once he's decided which direction to recover. And then he could have up specialed, because up special has great knockback power if people land on your puddle. It's just very, very risky if you are wrong.
Yeah, it's a hard race.
The really cool thing about up special with Orcane is if you do it from the ground, it creates a new puddle for you, so you're not actually wasting your puddle trying it.
Because if you do it from the air, that's a huge risk.
Yes.
If you get hit, you're
done.
Yeah.
You could be done, I should say.
Yeah.
She does have like a horizontal recovery move.
Yes,
helpful.
Which is, I guess it's the other thing, one thing we didn't cover.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see Randall Hero doing it. He's not too familiar with the game.
Yeah.
Every character can wall jump out of special fall.
Yes.
Which is way cooler.
And then you can up special again. That's another thing that's different from Smash. If you're unfamiliar with this game, there's no ledge grabbing, which I think actually accelerates the off-stage game.
I had no idea how much ledges weren't great until I played this.
Yeah, because you spend so much time hanging on it and waiting for someone and abusing that invincibility, and it lowers the incentive to actually leap off and chase somebody.
No, Ford put it really well. He said Smash is weird because the corner is also where you're safest.
Yes. That's brilliant. Who said that?
Ford.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that and probably not credit you.
Okay, good. All right, fine.
No, that's great. Yeah, so I'm just I'm a person who's wanted to love Smash for a long time but never could, because the controls are just not letting me do what I want. And that's why I love Rivals, because if Smash had always been like this game is controls-wise, I probably would have been a lifelong Smasher. Yeah. And we would all be friends way before today.
We would all be friends. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, hey, play Jet Apex.
Yeah.
It'd be very different.
Woo! Nice shot.
All right,
I like
dude,
it.
one stock. This is a game point for Randall Hero.
Yeah, Randall is very aggressive.
Yeah, he says he's a fox player in Melee, so he's definitely...
I mean, he's tossing out a lot of fireballs unchecked as well. Hylian is not parrying them and returning them, which is pretty important, because you want Zetterburn players to think twice about using their pretty darn good projectile.
It's really good.
It's a pretty good projectile. Oh, brutal.
Okay, so I was wrong. On that second game, Hylian won it.
Okay, so it's 3-0 now?
3-1.
3-1. Okay, good stuff, Hylian. Orcane, move it on.
3-1. It's 3-1. No, it's what? Yeah, sure. Who do you play? You probably play Saffron. What was your guy?
Dr. Grant.
Keats, you're up.
All right, I'm going to play.
Need a controller. Can anyone loan me a controller?
Happen?
I got port priority though.
All right. What up, Hylian?